Hello everyone, welcome back to R.I.P. Today. We're going to be in chapter 2 of Other Realm, I think. This is the second episode for Seiya. And the last episode left off with a Seiya versus Minami showdown, and then Minami ran off. Probably because he has no chance against Seiya, but we'll see. I wonder if these guys are going to have like a battle in here, like a full-on out battle. That'd be nice. Some action in this game would be cool. Trying to figure out where I want my microphone to sit here today. No intro today. I'm just going to get started. I want to read this route. It hadn't been long since Minami vanished from the alley, but I felt like I had been wandering for hours. I was exhausted, so Seiya brought me back to the HO building and showed me to a room.
殺風景な部屋ではありますが、体を休めるスペースもあります。ソファーで申し訳ありませんが、ゆっくりくつろいでください。
Thank you. I followed his suggestion, sitting on the couch by the window. I looked around the room. There was a large cylindrical device stretching from floor to ceiling. Other than that, nothing in particular stood out. Is that a PC on the desk? Smartphones, computers, many devices here in hell resemble those in the mortal realm. What is this room, Seiya?
ああ、私の部屋です。とはいえ、あまりここで業務を行うことはありませんがね。
Well, what's the use of an office if you barely work in it? Seiya did claim to be a Grand Warder. I didn't know exactly what that meant, but the office seemed to imply a fairly high-ranking position. Was it really okay to just follow Seiya's orders and come here with him? I mean, is he ordering you? Minami's words kept repeating over and over in my head.
せいやさん、お前まだ悪魔払いなんてやってるわけ？一度地獄に落ちた罪人が過去の栄光にしがみついちゃって、お前はもうエクソシストじゃないんだよ。
Despite Minami's accusations, Seiya said nothing in reply. I didn't think Seiya was a bad person, but I also didn't know him well enough to say for sure. So when someone goes to hell, is there like some kind of judgment process? How does all that work? If you committed crimes in life, there must be some kind of trial, right?
そうですね。裁きも多岐にわたり、説明するのは容易ではありませんが、あなたにもわかるよう簡潔にしましょう。最も重い罰は処刑です。処刑されると魂が消滅し無になります。軽い罰でしたら刑期が課せられ、それが終われば釈放になりますので、成仏することも可能です。
I see. Does that mean that Seiya has served his time here and is now working in Hell? Hell Organization. Minami the demon and Seiya the sinner. Perhaps no one in Hell is innocent.
ああ、そうだ。あなたにお渡ししたスマホですが、そのまま持っていてください。私は仕事がありますので、常にあなたのそばにはいられませんから、それで連絡を取り合いましょう。写し世へ帰るときに返却していただければいいです。
Thank you. Returning to the mortal realm. Do you really think I'll be able to go home? The strange and unfamiliar surroundings here in hell filled me with a sense of despair. I felt lost in a world of darkness, and I wanted nothing more than to escape this reality.
顔を上げなさい。
Aw, he said that so lovingly. His hand rested on my shoulder, yet I couldn't bring myself to look at him. I might as well just die.
一式ミサ。
Oh, he used your full name. His tone was quiet, yet reprimanding. I looked up, feeling as if I'd been slapped.
しっかりしなさい。あなただけの問題ではないのですよ。待っている者たちがいることをお忘れですか？
You've just been scolded. I couldn't bear the terrible events that had befallen me, but I had been too focused on myself to think clearly. He's right, they're waiting for me. The time in the mortal realm is still passing normally, isn't it?
ええ、その通りです。時間は写しよも隔離よも平等ですから。質問される前に教えておきますが、隔離よとは死者の世のことを指します。
It seems to be slightly different than what it was in the first route. First route hidden realm was the world between the living and the dead, not the realm of the dead, because even the ghost there was like, this looks like the hidden realm, and they're like, they're trapped there. So they wanted to get the hidden realm back to normal? I don't know. Or maybe the ghosts were in the mortal realm. I don't even know anymore. But I'm pretty sure they said it was between the living and the dead.
この地獄や成仏した先にある世、それらすべてをひっくるめて隔離よと言います。
I was impressed by Seiya's knowledge, and he seemed to know what I was going to ask next.
いいですか？写し世へ帰れなければ、あなたは地獄の空気に精神が病み、なくなります。確実に。
That was my second question, because she was going to die in the first route too. No.
先ほど死を考えたばかりのあなたが驚愕するとは滑稽ですね。
That's funny. He's like, glad to know you don't want to die. I can't argue with that.
まあ、ここに住みたいというのなら、写し世へ帰った後、銀行強盗か殺人でもして出直してきてください。
He says it so casually. Rob a bank, murder someone, you know. Come see me again.
その時は、私も HO の大看守として、あなたを手厚くもてなしましょう。
I'll welcome you with open arms. That's funny. I like this guy so much. Once I get home, I'll never come back here. He blurted out the words and Seiya and really laughed. It seemed like he was merely teasing me, and I simply sighed. Can I really trust Seiya? I mean, you say that, but she's all questioning Seiya, but Minami shows up out of nowhere, and he's like, be friends with me. And then you're like, okay, we'll be friends with you. And then you find out he's a demon. He's been after your soul. He doesn't deny it. And he says he's going to come back for you. And you don't want to trust Seiya. Like, I don't understand. Seiya's been helping you. He gave you protection against the demon. He's given you a phone to contact him. And you're like, can I really trust Seiya? Someone needs to knock some sense into her. Minami, the guy who spoke to me in town, none of them seemed safe to trust. Well, okay, well, I guess I spoke too soon. At least she doesn't trust him, right? Was the same true for Seiya? Seiya, there's something I want to ask you. Why did you want to save me? His playful aura vanished, sorrow in its place. I hadn't expected this reaction. Do his actions have something to do with me? Seiya looked down and began to speak slowly.
私はこれまでに2つの罪を犯しました。そのどちらもが自身の弱さゆえに起きてしまった悲劇。
He met my eyes squarely.
他者を救うことこそ贖罪となるのです。あなたは特に。
Especially her, because he let the other human die. His words seemed genuine. I understood his motives of trying to clear his sins by helping others, but why did he specifically mention me? I still don't totally get it. I mean, I don't really know much about you, Seiya.
それでいいのですよ。私を知る必要はない。ただ、私に助けられてください。
That's so cute. You don't need to. Just let me save you. Let me protect you. It's all that matters. Is that really okay? Yes, it is. We really depend on him, of course. Let's see what the answer is, though. Let's see. Chapter 2. I want his help, but... Minami? Same thing. Maybe it's okay. Do that one first. Maybe I can rely on Seiya. He's the only one I have right now anyway. I know, right? Thank you for offering to help. I'll gladly accept your offer. Oh, he's like, don't be so trusting of me. Make up your mind, man. Something wrong.
いえ、何でもありません。頼ってくださるのは私にとって願ってもないことですから。
He doesn't know what he wants.
ですが、そう簡単に私を信用していいのですか？
Well, I'll make an effort to trust you. Smile. That's so cute. They gave me a big smile, but it seemed oddly forced, which made me feel uneasy.
優しいですね、ミサさんは。信用をするために努力してくださるなんて。ああ、なんて優しい人なんでしょう。
I like him so much.
努力が必要な信用など、私のこの笑顔と同じ。出来の悪い、不細工な作り物に等しい。
What point are you trying to make? He seemed to see through my answer. I'm sorry. Honestly, I'm not sure if I could trust you yet, even if I wanted to.
本心を隠されていては、いくら察しのいい私でも、うまくやっていける自信が持てません。
Isn't that her true feelings, that she can't trust you? I don't understand what he wants. I'm sorry. I'll try to be more open. Guess I shouldn't try to hide anything from Seiya.
とりあえず少し眠りなさい。疲労が溜まったままだと、ろくに頭も働きません。
Okay, let's go back to the top. Alright, I want his help, but... I want your help, but I'm uneasy staying with you without knowing you better. So I'd like to get to know you better. Seiya gasped.
私に好意的だとは思っていましたが、まさか興味を抱かれるとは。
Says the person who is not her type. Huh? I stared at Seiya, who seemed to be blushing. It was my turn to gasp. No, that's not what I meant. I didn't mean it like that.
このような状況下でも、恋情を抱いてしまうとは意外でした。
What is wrong with you?
私を超える恋愛体質とは、ああ、嘆かわしい。
How is she romantic?
けれど、それもいいと思ってしまう私は、一体どうしたらいいのやら。
Oh my gosh, those words, man, they're so passionate. If anyone's terrible here, it's you, Seiya.
私たちはお似合いなのかもしれませんね。
I guess you two were destined. How do you figure? Uh-oh. I sighed heavily and gripped... Okay, I thought he came forward. I'm like, oh, man. I sighed heavily and gripped Seiya's arm, who continued to blush. Listen, Seiya, I'm really touched that you want to help me, but I need your knowledge too, so please be serious about this. Wanting to convey just how much I wanted him to take this seriously, I stared directly at him.
ええ、こちらこそよろしくお願いします。
Relief washed over me at last.
とりあえず少し眠りなさい。疲労が溜まったままだと、ろくに頭も働きません。
Yeah, timed that perfectly.
そうなれば、帰る方法の話し合いすらままならないでしょう。
I'm fine, I still feel energetic. Sleeping was the last thing on my mind, especially in the presence of someone I still didn't fully trust. Not to mention, the demon. The nightmare might return. A suffocating feeling, the demon's breath all around me, chilling me from head to toe. I could hardly breathe, it was so painful. The eerie voice that didn't slip into my ears as much as it did ring inside my brain. I dreaded hearing that voice again. I don't. I like that voice.
南が怖くて眠れないといったところでしょうか。
Seiya looked at me as if he could see through me. He had hit the nail on the head, yet I was in no mood to confirm or deny his suspicions. It seems Seiya already understands everything, in which case, I decided to share the feelings that were bubbling up inside me. I wanted to trust Minami. Minami had made it seem as though we were in the same situation. While it's true I was beginning to trust him, even more than that, I wanted to believe I wasn't alone. His presence was the only thing keeping me sane in this unfamiliar world. I felt awful for wanting someone else to share this burden with, but I knew confessing these twisted feelings to Seiya wouldn't absolve me of anything. But still, he wants you to be open, so this is good, right?
あなたは正常ですよ。
Huh?
人間は自身の感情を他者と共有したい生き物です。楽しさだったり嬉しさだったり、時には悲しみや辛さすらも共有し、共感してほしいと思うものです。ですからあなたは正常なのですよ、ミサさん。
Seiya's words made me feel as though I was forgiven for the selfish nature of my thoughts, and it made my heart feel light. I felt warmth returning to my cold, sweaty fingertips.
眠れないようですし、少しお付き合いいたします。
Aww. Seiya drew a nearby chair and sat next to me. Seiya?
南に代わり、私があなたの不幸を共有しましょう。あなたがよろしければですが。
Oh, he's so sweet. Yes, of course. Initially, I found Seiya oppressive, someone not to be challenged. I found him to be intimidating, but not in that moment. I know,
で
right?
は、悪魔について話しましょうか。いや、南に関してと言った方がいいか。
Oh, that's right. I heard something about you being an exorcist, right?
もっとが抜けています。
So it was true. Minami had said something about exorcism before, right? My only impression of exorcists came from watching horror movies, but Seiya seemed to match with those notions. Someone who performs a ritual to drive away demons from possessed people. Who knew those horror movies Sayaka made me watch would come in handy someday? Besides Minami, do you know any other demons?
ええ、苦しめられた過去があります。
Seiya's eyes seemed to drift as he spoke, lost in memories. Maybe it's a sensitive topic. Would it be okay if I told you about the dream I had with Minami? Aw. He's opening up. I wanted to steer the conversation back to my experience, and Seiya nodded solemnly. Just recalling it gave me chills, but I knew I needed to confront it. One thing Minami said really struck me. He mentioned something about a soul pact. I've been wondering what that means.
本人もそう言っていましたね。悪魔は人間の魂が大好物ですから、当たり前といえばそうなのですが、あなたにこだわる理由がわからない。長年追い求めるほど特別な魂ということらしいですが。
Kind of reminds me of Cupid Parasite, how Cupid's soul was sought after for years as well. I'm going to be comparing it to that because that's all I know about incubuses and souls. I've been wondering about that too. Why would he be after my soul?
今回のこと以外で南に会ったことは？
I'm sure I haven't. I know I would remember meeting someone like that in a dream.
聞き方を変えましょう。現実で会った覚えはありますか？
I don't think so, but he could have been disguised, right? And can Minami even visit the mortal realm? I remember meeting him on the train, and the next thing I knew we were in hell.
人の姿を保てているくらいですから、そこそこ力を有している悪魔だと見ています。ですから、写し世へ赴くのも可能でしょう。ただし南、ムマは、写し世にいようが隠り世にいようが関係ないのですよ。なぜなら、夢を支配する悪魔なのですから。だからどうしてもわからないのです。長年あなたの魂を狙っていて、どうして今のタイミングなのかと。
About that.
もっと早くに契約をしたかったんだが、お前が写し世にいる間は叶わなくてね。
That's what he said. Seiya gave me a dubious look.
それについての理由は？
What did he say again?
夢はおぼろげで、あやふやな部分もあるかと思いますが、これは大事なことです。
God of death.
よく思い出してみてください。
He spoke softly, but I knew how serious he was. He said, probably not a save though either. God of death is near. God of death is near. Kisaragi. He didn't mention. Oh, didn't he mention?
如月駅に来てくれてありがとね。やっとお前と話すことができて嬉しくて興奮しているよ。
Maybe that means it has something to do with me coming to Kisaragi Station.
どうやら私の話をきちんと聞いていなかったようですね。
You're hopeless. Seiya sighed, and I immediately knew I made a mistake. Let me try again.
夢はおぼろげで、あやふやな部分もあるかと思いますが、これは大事なことです。
Alright, back to the top. He said, God of death was near. Oh, I remember.
お前には死神のようなうざったいものがついていたから、ずっと手を出せずにいたんだが。この地獄だけは神の力が及ばない場所。ようやくお前と契約を交わせそうだ。
Uh-oh. I shared with Seiya what I had remembered, and his expression turned to one of alarm.
確かにそう言ったのですか？
Yes. I was certain, but recalling Minami's words gave me chills. A god of death is stalking me. He must be lying, right? Seiya remained silent, looking at me with an inquisitive gaze. Seiya?
死神がついていたなら、生きながらに地獄へ来るとは考えられない。それならば、死神のようなものとは。厳密には死神ではない。南が近づけなかったのなら、神であるのはそうなのだろうが。
As Seiya pondered aloud, I listened attentively. I need to try to come up with my own conclusions. Seiya seemed to be thinking about the god that was stalking me, so I tried to tackle the issue from another angle. Maybe I should think about how Minami brought me here. After all, I still don't remember anything after school until I was on the train. About this god, could it be that they left my side for some reason? Minami might have realized the god wasn't near me, and that's when he brought me to the train. My memory only starts on the train. I can't remember anything before that.
記憶がない。いつからないのですか？
Right after school, I was preparing to head home, and I don't know if I fell asleep, but when I woke up, I was on the train. What do you think of my theory?
全くの見当違いです。
No.
言ったはずです。南は無魔。あなたが写し世にいようと関係なく、夢に現れることが可能だと。
Right, so there would be no need for him to bring me to the train. Wait then, who brought me here? I wasn't really asking Seiya, the words just kind of slipped out of my mouth.
南に惑わされてここに来たと、そう思っていたのですが、考えを改める必要があるようですね。
Seiya stood, returned to his chair, and began organizing documents on his desk.
そろそろ仕事に戻らねばなりませんし、少し考える時間をください。
Oh, right, sorry for distracting you.
邪魔ではありませんよ。私があなたに関わりたいのですから。お休みになられないようでしたら、中庭へ出てカリファの空気に触れるのがいいでしょう。HO の敷地内でしたらカリファの力があるので、 南も入ってこられないでしょうし。もし外出なさるおつもりなら、カリファの花を忘れずに。
I'm allowed to leave.
止めたところで、あなたは行くでしょうから。
You are not a prisoner. He spoke with a wry smile and handed me a kind of cloak. Oh yeah, the robe. What's this?
外出用のローブです。HO の紋が入っているので、手を出してくる者はいないでしょう。
Thank you, this is very helpful.
できるなら、外出は控えてください。それでは。
I said make peace. He's like, you may leave, but please don't. After Seiya left, I found myself alone in the room gazing out the window. I know, right? Being alone like this, I'm worried I'll fall asleep. Perhaps some fresh air might help. I decided to follow Seiya's advice and visit the courtyard. I don't think I would ever leave that building. I'd be too afraid of Minami. Yay! I like the perspectives. I need to focus on work, yet my mind keeps drifting to return her to the mortal realm. One with such innocent eyes doesn't belong in a place like this. Yet I sensed a darkness within her, a burden beyond her desire to return home. Uh-oh. A hidden sorrow beneath that bright demeanor. A riddle wrapped up in the enigma, that one. I found myself inevitably drawn to her.
思いを馳せている場合ではないというのに。
Everyone's drawn to her in every route. I forced my wandering heart back to reality, redirecting my attention to the papers on my desk. Your wandering heart, huh? I wish it was longer. I want to know more. I reached the hallway leading outside to the courtyard. Every time I see this hallway, I think of Misa and Koyo's kiss, because this is where it was. Anyway, I reached the hallway leading outside to the courtyard, the lukewarm wind brushing my cheek. Hell's atmosphere was tense and uncomfortable, yet it helped me stay awake. But compared to the air of the station and town, it feels more peaceful here. Perhaps it was the presence of the Khalifa tree. I found a fallen petal on the ground and I put it in my pocket. With this, I should be able to walk around safely outside. The memories flashed back to my previous encounter with Minami. Leaving the building was daunting, but confronting Minami seemed necessary if I was to find my way back home. Unsure if he'd be truthful, it still seemed a better option than sitting here doing nothing. Where to begin? We're gonna get the map, aren't we? Seiya. Let's go talk to him. Where am I? I wanted to explore the HO but ended up getting lost along the way. There are way too many rooms here. I need a map for this place. There was just a map. Oh look. From a nearby corner, cast a deep shadow, I saw Seiya emerge. I started to approach him but stopped. Oh. It's her. Oh my goodness, I don't like her. An unfamiliar girl is following him. Is she doing her trial in this one, or is she free? I don't know. Oh, she was wearing shackles. Okay, she's on trial right now. Was she damned?
いいですか。仮釈放の身というのを忘れずに。
That's funny that this route kind of takes place in parallel with Koyo's route. Koyo and Senna's. They happen at the same time. Because she's out stalking Koyo in Koyo's route. And she supposedly has a restraining order.
わかってるって。もう本当にしつこいんだから。レイカ、頭いいから一度言われたらちゃんとわかるってば。
Yeah, well, y'all know how stubborn you are.
おお、それは非常に興味深い。私の記憶では、被害者はこのように述べています。悪いけど、あんたの言うような感情はない。むしろ迷惑してる。と。
I know, right? He said that word for word.
そのことは記憶していないようですね。それとも聞こえなかったとでも？
嫌い嫌いも好きのうちって知らないの？そんなのだから大看守様には恋人ができないのよ。
That's funny. That's why you're single. I see. That girl Reika is out on parole. I'm eavesdropping. That's rude. I should probably go somewhere else. But I also don't know my way around.
やはり休んでいなかったようですね。
Hey, she was bored, okay? Oops. Boston thought Seiya seemed to have noticed me and approached. The girl he spoke with had been handed off to someone else.
まったく。あなたが人を心配させたいかまってちゃんだったとは。
Worrying you, huh? Sorry, that wasn't my intention. I was just taking a walk to clear my head.
強がらなくていいのですよ。私も同じ性質を持っていますから。
Why does he look happy when he says that? Right. He said I'm not really his type before, didn't he? I know, right? But he's not giving that impression. Maybe I could have asked him about your type. What is your type? I'm curious. You're just gonna fluster him by asking. When we first met, you said I wasn't your type. So what is your type, Seiya? Seiya flashed around with embarrassment. No, wait a minute. You did say I wasn't your type, right?
いいえ、そのことではなく、わざわざ私を探してまで恋愛の質問をするなんてと思いまして。
I know, it seems oddly suspicious, doesn't it?
それほどまでに私が気になって仕方なかったのですね。
What? No, that's not what I meant at all.
まあ、あなたに好かれるというのも悪い気分はしません。
Like I said, I didn't mean it that way. It was just idle chit-chat.
申し訳ないのですが、もう少し待っていてください。私もそろそろ準備完了しますので。
Could you wait a moment? I'm nearly ready. Ready for what? I know, right? No, I can't get dragged further into this conversation. That much I know for sure. I'm sorry. Please forget I said anything.
強いて言うならば、好きな人がタイプというところでしょうか。
Yes, please say. I didn't ask. Yes, you
です
did.
から残念ながら、あなたのことは好みのタイプではないのです。今はまだ。
Not yet, huh? The last part. No.
では、仕事が残っていますので、失礼いたします。
I can see myself binge reading this. I'm gonna have so many episodes stockpiled of this read that it's only midnight and I've been recording 37 minutes, so 20 more minutes is what I'm guessing it's gonna be over. Edit, put it out, and then just keep reading because I need more Seiya. I need Seiya in my life. Seiya is what I've been missing. Okay. Our conversation was brief, but it was pretty intense. Yeah, everything about Seiya is intense. Alright, Minami, go find you. Listen to your squeaky voice. I wonder if Minami is nearby. Wearing the robe, I drew less attention than the last time I went out, but... Unable to shake my anxiety, I kept fidgeting with the petals in my pocket. With my hood pulled up, I aimed to blend in. That's when I heard the voice.
黒の扉の店、そこに入ってこい。
He knows exactly where you are. You don't blend in at all. Minami's voice was unmistakable. I scanned my surroundings. I can't see him, but that voice was definitely Minami's. Following the voice's instructions, I found a nearby shop with a black door. The smoked glass window prevented me from seeing the inside. It's a trap. I guess I have no choice but to enter. The door was heavier than anticipated, and I cautiously stepped inside. The bar? What is this? What is this place? I know, right? An unfamiliar scent enveloped me. Sounds like a bar. Dimming light and eerie yet bustling atmosphere.
うーわー、ずいぶんと趣味の悪い服装になってんね。見てるだけで吐きそう。
Well, at least he's not playing innocent boy, right? Found Minami. As I approached him, I felt my anxiety heighten. I came to talk to you, Minami.
うん、知ってる。会いに来る頃じゃないかなって思ってたよ。だって。お前は俺を無視できないもんね。
Both you and Seiya, man. His sickening smirk widened as he peered deeply into my eyes. His demeanor was totally different than the one on the train, which irritated me. So it really was all an act, huh?
今更でしょ。もうネタばらしは終わってるんだからいい子なしだろ。
You lied to me.
うるさいな。あんまりしつこいとその口聞けないようにしちゃうよ。
Oh my goodness. The glare betrayed more than a hint of annoyance. Even a subtle threat was enough to send me cowering.
てか、騙されたって言うけどさ、全部が嘘じゃないもん。一個だけ真実もあったもん。
With that, a sinister glint appeared in his eyes. Oh, he turned red. What's happening? I can't move. You're stuck now. Minami's fingernails grazed my neck, sending shivers down my spine.
さてさて、問題です。俺が喋ったことの中で、真実とは何だったのでしょうか？
I don't know. Oh, man. Minami's grip on my neck was light, yet it was enough to make it difficult to breathe, let alone speak.
醜い声。首を絞めてるわけじゃないのに苦しいの？辛いの？
Oh my goodness. What an ass. Why'd you make me curse? Dang it. I was paralyzed, like a frog under the snake's gaze. Why isn't the Khalifa flower working? It's still in my pocket, right?
苦しんでるお前をもっと見ていてもいいんだけど、クイズは答え合わせをしないとつまんないからね。
Is that all the CG we're going to get? Unwrapping the answer.
正解は、食べるのが好きでした。
Okay.
たくさん食べたい。他人の阿鼻共感が好きでたまらない。でも、今はそんなのどうだっていい。
Oh my goodness. I felt something wet on my cheek. His breath and tongue grazed my skin, sending an indescribable fear through me.
俺はね、お前に夢中なの。今すぐミサちゃんが欲しくってね。
Okay, after this encounter, I would never, ever leave HO ever again. Like, no. The demon is licking you. Suddenly, my pocket began to emit a soft glow. Then an electrifying buzz struck the area Minami touched, and he jumped back. That allowed me to breathe and move normally.
ああ、俺の力じゃカリファを抑えるのは数分ってとこか。それ嫌いなんだよね。今度持ってきたらお前の片耳かじってやるから。
Bite off your ear? I instinctively covered both of my ears.
今日はやんないよ。耳の気分じゃなかったんだよね。
He's so creepy. His sadistic smile was unsettling, and he slid his tongue over his lips. The sight sent a shock through me as I remembered the feel of his coarse tongue against my cheek. Instinctively, I rubbed it with my sleeve. Ugh.
はあ？何吹いてんの？汚いもの扱いされんの嫌なんだけど。
You licked her. What'd you expect? I simply couldn't deal with his moodiness. Moodiness, huh? In incubus and human form, he's very temperamental and acts selfishly. He's always had his eye on the protagonist's soul, but this was the first time he was able to contact her. Enough. I have a question, so give me a straight answer. Who put me on that train? That's all I want to know.
何それつまんな。そんなこと聞くために会いに来たとか言わないよね。
Yeah, we don't care about you. Nami tapped his foot impatiently, clearly annoyed. I need to be careful how I phrase this. I'm curious how their relationship's going to turn out because she's supposed to fall in love with him in the second route. please. Minami is also please. Alright. No save file. There's no other reason. I steady myself, determined not to back down. Of course, I'm here because I have questions. There's no other reason I want to talk to you.
そう。この俺が聞けば教えてくれると思ってるわけ？頭悪いやつは嫌いなんだよね。そんな脳みそあっても無駄だし。食ってやろうか。
His tone was so sharp and irritated, making me instinctively step back.
ねえ、俺を喜ばせてよ。そうしたら教えてあげなくもないよ。
Don't entertain the demon. Okay, I'm guessing that's the end, so we'll go back. I'm gonna say please. Asking him for a favor was the last thing I wanted to do, but I didn't see any other option. Are you begging? Please, just tell me. I bowed low, hearing Minami's cackle above me.
みっともない。そのみっともない姿たまらないな。ねえ、腹の底では俺にムカついてるんでしょ？
I looked up to find Minami laughing, clearly amused at my predicament. I clenched my teeth and persisted. I need to know, so please.
どうしよっかな。もっと俺を喜ばせてくれるなら教えてあげてもいいよ。
Minami certainly had odd taste in entertainment, so I struggled to think of something to do. What should I do now? My eyes scanned the room until I saw a bread knife on the table. Fine, let's do this. I quickly grabbed the knife and pointed it at my own neck. Oh my goodness. Oh, wait. You wouldn't be very happy if I died, right? Minami's eyes widened and he froze. I was gambling, bluffing really, and I had no idea how he'd react. You don't want me to die? Then answer my question. Then Minami's stone face broke and he began howling with laughter.
ウケる。そう来るとは思わなかったよ。
Why are you laughing?
ねえ、早くやってみてよ。ほら、ザクッとさ。
Chop chop. You sure about that? You really sure you're okay with me dying?
だって、ねえ、続きが気になって仕方なくてさ。
Well, you're doing a good job entertaining him.
無理して虚勢張って、それで死ぬなんて最高に哀れで惨めじゃない。
He's so heartless. I slowly lowered my hand, feeling humiliated. Hopelessly.
生き恥ってやつ。ああ、どうしようね。お前のことが好きでたまらないよ。
So, we're gonna keep doing dumb stuff like this to entertain his twisted humor, and then he's gonna fall in love with her. That's kind of funny. Oh, back off. You're too close. Minami then reached for the blade of the knife that I was holding in my hand and pulled it towards him, blade first. What are you doing?
お前が命を無駄にするような人間じゃないのは知ってるけど、万が一ってこともあるから没収。
Confiscated it. He put the knife down on the table. I was surprised to see that there wasn't a single drop of blood on his hand. It's a butter knife, right? Isn't that what he said? Oh, it's a bread knife, not a butter knife. Okay, that makes more sense. Are you okay?
心配ありがとう。でもね、血の通った悪魔なんて悪魔じゃないんだよ。
Oh, really?
さてと、面白い劇を見せてもらったし、教えてやるよ。
Oh.
お前が電車に乗ったことに、俺は関係していない。
Probably the god.
夢で言ったと思うけど、お前についていた死神みたいなストーカー野郎の仕業。
He called him a stalker. God, what? A god did that? Why would a god do that to me?
知るわけないじゃん。お前が電車に乗ったら急にいなくなったし。でも、聖者を聖者のまま地獄に送るなんて、神じゃなくて悪魔みたいだよね。
What if Minami said was true? Then this god didn't sound like a god at all. What could that mean? No, now's not the time to figure that out. Well, thanks for sharing. I'll see you around, or hopefully not. Bye.
やだ。帰るの無理。 暇なんだけど、俺に付き合ってよ。
No, go away. Huh?
お前が怖がることはしないから。ねえ、いいでしょ？もう少しお話ししたい。
I don't care how pitiful your pleases are. After you licked me, I would never hang out with you. He was acting like a kid in the candy aisle at a grocery store. I wanted to leave, but I was worried about what he'd do to me if I tried to walk away. Fine, we could talk for a bit, but what do you want to talk about?
そんなのお前が考えるんだよ。俺を退屈させたら今度は目玉を舐めるから。
Lick your eyes out. I can't believe he said that. It's so terrible. What could I possibly talk about with him? Dislikes. You seem to be someone who dislikes many things, so what else do you hate?
そんなのいっぱいありすぎて言い切れないって。
I know, right?
あ、でも最近すっごく嫌いなのはせいやかな。
Oh, Seiya made your top 10 most hated list. I guess I should have assumed that. I'm really looking forward to it then. Let's have a showdown. How about stuff you're not good at?
お前って分かりやすくていいね。それを知ったからといって俺をどうにかできると思ってるわけ？
I'm gonna find out your weaknesses. Oh. I doubt I really could confront Minami about anything anyway.
教えてやらないよ。お前は俺のことでいっぱいになってほしいんだから。俺のことばっかり考えてよ。そんで俺にいっぱい時間費やして。俺を思ってるその表情が好きだから。
He likes the look of fear on your face. His smile is the same when we first met. I wonder if everything Minami said just now was all an act. No. Why would he be an act? I spent a little more time with him and eventually found the right moment to slip away. The whole thing made me feel uneasy and nervous, but I managed to gain some valuable information. That's really funny. Is that the end? I can imagine if that's the end. Oh, we get a perspective. I'm getting ahead of myself. After seeing her off, I wandered around, just killing time by walking in the streets. Aw, man. If only I could get her away from Seiya, then Misa would be all mine. The way she acted back there was just way too entertaining. I couldn't stop thinking about her. In the mortal realm, Misa hated conflict, but it didn't matter if I died. It was so unexpected, so comical, so absurd. We'd only just parted ways, and yet I already longed to be with Misa again. I wonder when I'll see her next. Yeah, what am I thinking? I've got to focus on getting that soul pact, not hanging out with her.
でもまだ少し本気モードになるのはいいかな。いなくなっちゃったらつまんないもん。
You just want someone to play with. Is that going to be his thing? Just someone to play with? Ew. I walked around a lot. I realized I might be stuck here for some time, and it was best I memorized the roads. So I'd rather not be in hell long enough to remember how to get around.
今大丈夫ですか？お話ししたいことがあります。
I was going to say, I wonder what her condition is to get back to the mortal realm, because it was her career path survey in the other one, and it split in two in this one, so... But Seiya can just send her on a train back, right? Eventually. Hello, Seiya. Hope you had a good day at work.
ありがとうございます。ねぎらいの言葉をかけていただけるとは嬉しい限りです。
I'm surprised he didn't say something along the lines of, it sounds like a wife welcoming home a husband after a long day. Well, I'm glad to hear that. There's actually something I wanted to talk about.
ほう。この短時間に何か行動をされたようですね。あなたの方から聞きましょう。
I went to see Minami and asked him some lingering questions I still had.
南に会いに行った。
He doesn't seem very, worried that she's visiting a demon. So maybe Minami's not as dangerous as he portrays himself to be. His smile froze and I instantly felt nervous. Oh, but, I really just need to get some information from him. So,
なんと命知らずなのでしょう。 あなたは死にたいのですか？そういう人間だったのですか？
I guess I spoke too soon. I'm not, but I think I had to see him if I want to be able to return home. Besides, it wasn't dangerous at all. I met him in a crowded place. Minami's voice guided me there.
声は一度あなたの夢に現れ、思考に入り込んだのが原因でしょう。
What, her daydream?
今後もあなたの思考を読んでくるはず。気をつけなさい。心を無にする鍛錬をなさるのがよろしいでしょう。
Before, I wondered how Minami knew where I was, but I guess that explains it. That sounds tough, but I'll try.
まあ、無事に帰ってきたようですし、よしとしましょうか。
Next time I see Minami, I should probably let Seiya know ahead of time. I know, so he gets stalky, right? I made a mental note about that and told Seiya about my conversation with Minami. Of course, I omitted the part about him licking my cheek. Why not?
神があなたをここへ。
If you told him, he might try to purify your face. That would be funny, right? Him kissing her cheek. I kind of want to see that, actually. Seiya gazed upward into the sky, lost in thought. Then eventually...
南の言うことが真実なのであれば、ミサさんは神に見入られたことになります。
I attracted a god, but isn't it strange that he would send me to hell?
まあ、神のなさることは理解しようにも難しいですから。ただ、確実に言えることがあります。神があなたを異界へやったのなら、これは神隠しにあったと言えます。
There we go. Spirited away, just like in the first one. What? Spirited away? I'd heard that term before.
こういう各地の伝承と同じようにね、成見ヶ浜も昔から神隠しが多い土地って言われてるんだよ。
It's been a long time since I heard that line.
精神的に参っていたり、大きな悩みを抱えている人が神隠しに遭いやすいってところ。あなたは大丈夫？大きな悩み抱えてない？
Wait a minute. Was I spirited away just like the legends of Narimigahama? I was spirited away because I've been struggling to find my future path? Chased by a demon, stalked by a god, talk about rotten luck. Why me?
神のみぞ知るというところでしょうか。
I was just thinking that. I was like, oh, that's a popular say, and then he said, as they say.
あなたから悪夢の話を聞いて、神それぞれに役割があるのを思い出しましてね。
So you mean each god is different? Seiya nodded, continuing his explanation.
おそらくあなたについていた神は、人々に試練や苦行を与え、試している部類のものなのではと。
Hey, she's finally learning something new. Not that she would know this in the last two routes, but that was pretty much his goal in the last two routes too. So you think this god is watching me somewhere?
ここは地獄ですから、神が敷居をまたげるところではありません。
Minami said the same thing, that I had been taken here by a god. But again, all this information is coming from Minami. Do you think he could be lying and he actually brought me here himself? Like he's blaming the god so he doesn't look bad.
悪くないと思わせる悪魔ですか。それはまた斬新ですね。
Fair point. Then I guess Minami is telling the truth. Well, if a god did do this to me, as you say, Seiya, then I suppose this really is some kind of divine test. I never imagined being angry with a god, but I was determined not to fail this test. If it's a trial, then there's at least a chance I can overcome it. I'll keep looking for a way home. I spoke with determination and saw Seiya smiling back at me.
あなたの心が折れていないようで安心しました。
There's her condition to get back home, overcome the god's trial.
神隠しと仮定するのなら、私に提案があります。随分と昔になりますが、あなたと同じ境遇の少女がここへ迷い込んできたことがありましてね。
And I'm very curious if we know about her. What? Someone else was spirited away like me.
ええ。あの頃の私は、ここへ入ったばかりの新米で、少女の存在に気づくのが遅れて、私が駆けつけた時には、すでに化け物に襲われた後。
He seemed truly remorseful as he recalled the events of that day. I felt guilty probing further, but I had to ask the question. What happened to the girl?
この地獄で朽ち果てたのです。その後、未練のあった彼女は、幽霊として今もうつしようをさまよっています。
Is it Yui? But did Yui go to hell though? Was that where she spirited away herself to? I was wondering if it was Yui this whole time, but I couldn't figure out how the story lined up.
私にできることといえば、彼女の遺体をこの地に埋葬するだけでした。
Given the circumstances, I think your kindness was the best thing you could offer her. I meant it sincerely. Perhaps I was putting myself in the girl's shoes.
あなたのその言葉こそ、私の慰めになりました。ありがとうございます、ミサさん。
I hadn't expected him to thank me, and I felt my cheeks blush slightly. Oh, really?
この間、私には2つの罪があることを話しましたが、今のがそのうちの1つです。少女には今も時折会いに行っています。自分勝手な贖罪のために。
Yeah, it has to be Yui. She passed long ago, yet still wandered the mortal realm, unable to find peace. Seeing Seiya's sorrowful expression, I understood his pain. Could it be? Are you trying to help me because I remind you of that girl, Seiya?
申し訳ありません。あなたには何の関係もない話だというのに。
I think you're lying.
今度こそ無事に写し終え返したいのです。この自分勝手なわがままに付き合ってくれますか？
Play along, like it's not her goal too. He extended his hand and I instinctively took it. I suppose we're both being selfish. I mean, you're the only one who could possibly help me back to the mortal realm. Sorry, I mean, you will absolutely 100% find a way to bring me home. I smiled and gently squeezed his hand. I'm starting to understand Seiya more. I think I can trust him.
胸が
Oh my goodness.
今のはちょっといえかなり響きました。
I want to know, is Seiya and Shelby the same voice actor? Because whenever he gets like this, he sounds just like Shelby when Shelby gets flustered. Hold on. Yeah, I don't recognize. Well, I recognize Henry from Pure Fury, but he's like a side character. So no, Seiya is not Shelby's voice actor. They sound so similar. Minami has so many voice actors that I recognize. Minami is Yang from Pure Fury. Peter Flag, the Jupiter from Cupid Parasite. Hansel from Code Realize. Holler X Malice, Manabu Soda. Radiant Tail Ratty. Like, I could hear it though. Let's see. Ratty's voice is his current demon voice. Peter and Yang. Peter sounds like Yang when he talks like Jupiter. But when he's Peter, he doesn't sound anything like him. Yeah, Peter has his own voice. Yang has his own voice. And innocent Minami has his own voice. Like I said, this voice actor, what even is this voice actor? Nobuhiko Okamoto, that's the voice actor, and yeah, he does a good job. Anyway, sorry Seiya, back to what you were saying. I didn't like his reaction. My heart moved a lot. I attempted to withdraw my hand, but he held onto it firmly.
全身の血が駆け巡るような心地。久しぶりに感じました。
You would make me so uncomfortable in real life.
まあ、死んでいるのでそのようなことは起きないのですが。
So this is what he meant by being a hopeless romantic. I know, right? Refers to Seiya, he seems to always be falling in love, which is nothing if not worrisome. That's funny. Is it safe for me to stay here with him?
では参りましょうか。
Why is that not safe? I mean, sure, he's weird, but I mean, he's going to protect you. Where are you going? Did I miss something? He guided me over to a large tube-like device in the room. Huh? Where are we going? And what is this thing?
HO が使用している特別なエレベーターです。
Sorry, I went down a rabbit hole with that whole voice actor thing.
写し代へつながっていて、罪人が逃亡した際に使用しています。
What? You could just use an elevator? Oh wait, I remember that in Hibiki's route. Right. So we don't need a train. What? This leads to the mortal realm? Why didn't I just use this before to go home?
残念ながら、聖者がこれを使用すると、システムエラーが発生すると報告されています。
It's funny.
あなたの住む世界、写し代が、この隔離世のような世界へと変わってしまうらしいのです。
Oh, so what happened in the first route? I see. The disappointment hit hard, quickly dashing my hopes of a speedy return. But if using the elevator changes the world into something like the Hidden Realm, then why are we bothering to use it?
今回に至っては問題ないのです。なぜならば、神隠しにあった少女、ユイさんを訪ねるのですから。
I knew it. Oh. Seiya quickly checked something on his smartphone.
現在の写し代の時刻は深夜2時42分。聖者のいない時間帯ですからちょうどいい。
Why does that matter though? I'm so curious. Like, he says it doesn't matter now, but they're still going to the mortal realm. Like, Yui lives in the mortal realm, right? I'm not understanding. Where are we headed?
あなたにゆかりのある場所、成見ヶ浜高校です。ユイさんはその学校の七不思議の一つとして数えられています。
One of my school's 7 wonders? Yui wasn't a 7 wonder in the first route. She was not. The fact that this somehow can... Wait, is she? Maybe she was. We did ask her name, which when you ask a 7 wonder their name, it goes onto the flower. Maybe it's just been too long. The fact that this was somehow connected to a place I knew made me feel nervous and apprehensive. I swallowed hard.
ミサさん、覚悟はよろしいですか？
I guess I should just stop talking and speculating and just read the story, right? I'm sure you guys are tired of my commentary by now. I silently nodded as Seiya motioned for me to enter the elevator. If Yui was, in fact, spirited away like me, she might know something useful. It was the first time I felt anything resembling hope since I arrived in hell. I bet that's the end of the chapter, isn't it? I decided to stop talking at the last minute. Sorry, guys. I hope it wasn't too annoying. Well, anyway, that's the end of chapter 2, and it's not not boring at all. Sometimes common roots are boring. This is not boring. You have Minami who's threatening her life, and to bite off her ears and lick at her eyeballs. And then you have Seiya who falls more in love with her with every word she says. Yeah, fun times. It's so entertaining. And I have a CG, so yay, I don't have to make up CGs. Anyway, if you guys enjoy, drop a like down below and or subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.